gone away, Appalachian princess. We'll figure out a way to get you out of this mess. Can't shut me up, I will be here fighting. Can't brush me off, we're thunder and lightning. She goes, we follow, not scared of no hollow. We want you to stay, Appalachian princess. But you got gone away, Appalachian princess. We will figure out a way to get you out of this mess. They thought they could hide our Appalachian princess, but we're here to find you, Appalachian princess. Can't look away, Appalachian princess. Too beautiful to say, Appalachian princess. Can't shut me up, I will be here fighting. Can't brush me off with thunder and lightning. She goes, we follow, not scared of no hollow. We want you to stay, Appalachian princess. But you got gone away, Appalachian princess. We'll figure out a way to get you out of this mess. They thought we could hire Appalachian princess, but we're here to find you, Appalachian princess. Can't look away, Appalachian princess. Too beautiful to stay, Appalachian princess. Appalachian princess. Hey, I hope you guys are doing good today. Today I wanted to talk about, excuse me, I wanted to talk about Robin Lane. I have to keep my camera off because my internet's like not working very good today. Okay. So this is from the interview room with Chris McDonough, and it was filmed in July, about a month after Summer's disappearance, but Chris McDonough did not put this video out until I think November of 2021. So, and Robin Lane came out with a video. I forget if it was on Facebook or on YouTube, but I know it's on YouTube. She came out with a video where she was saying, I put out a video with Chris McDonough. I recorded a video with Chris McDonough, and it's about to come out, but it was recorded way back in July, so I don't know what I said on it. So, don't come for me because I don't remember what all I said. So this is what she said.
So what, your first impression when you got there was what?
Wow, this is a big deal. That's just, not that I didn't think it was a big deal before, but I didn't understand, I guess, at the moment that she told me Summer's missing, we called the police. I didn't know what to expect. This never happened. I'm a rookie. I've never experienced anything like this before. So yeah, it was just overwhelming, the amount of, and then I started getting really scared at that moment that, wow, this little girl's missing. She's been missing for, I guess, a while, that all this team has been put together this quickly,
So she's like, yeah, she's been missing for a while since all this team's been put together, but she knew she's been missing for a while because when Candace called her, I don't know if, okay, so the way Candace puts it, she threw the phone down. She threw her phone down in the back of Don's truck, grabbed her mom's phone, and then called 911. Well, she called Donnie first, she says. She called Don first, and then she called 911. So
I'm assuming after she called 911 is when she called Dotson and Robin. And she called Robin and was blowing Robin's phone up, and Robin would not answer because she was at her daughter's rehearsal for her dance recital. She was taking pictures and she seen her phone blowing up, but then David Dotson started calling her, so she thought maybe something was wrong, so she answered the phone, and he said, "Hey, Candace is trying to get a hold of you. Summer's missing." So
when you were on the video chat with Candace, explain that to me.
Well, to be honest, I was driving. So
You were
I was driving. I can't really tell you anything specific that she said. I know I probably asked her how long she's been gone for. I probably asked her questions, but I don't remember because I was distracted and she was in a panic mode. So,
Okay,
yeah,
in panic mode.
she was in panic mode.
It did.
I wonder why she was so distracted that she couldn't remember what Candace said. I feel like that would be something I wouldn't be able to forget, that part of the whole situation when you very first are finding out Summer's missing and you're first talking to her mother for the first time after finding out she's missing. I just thought that was kind of strange that she couldn't remember what she said. I think maybe Candace was just really drunk or intoxicated, probably, in my opinion. And I think that maybe Robin doesn't want to say that and doesn't want to make Candace look bad, so she's not saying what Candace said. Or maybe she couldn't even understand what Candace was saying. Who knows?
She mentioned Don.
Probably, but I don't remember what she said about
Okay.
him.
Did Don call you?
No.
Okay. So your communication about Summer was mom.
Just mom. Yeah.
Okay. What about grandma? Did grandma come to church with them?
She had come.
All right. So he asks, what about Don? Did she say anything about Don? And Robin's like, I don't know. I don't remember. I think she did, but I don't remember what she said about him. Well, that's kind of weird because was it something bad? Did she say something bad about Don and you don't want to say what that is because you are protecting Don for some reason? I mean, I know that might sound a little far-fetched, but it seems like a lot of people are protecting Don.
She had come before, yeah. Not regularly, but she had come before.
Okay. Yeah. The week before this happened, were they here, if you know? The family.
The family. I honestly can't remember if they were or not.
Okay.
I don't know.
And when
I know they were here Mother's Day because that's when I got this necklace.
Oh,
That's when
nice.
she gave me this necklace.
Summer gave
Summer gave me this necklace.
Summer gave you that necklace.
She did. And there
How
was I'm sure she probably was here after that, but I'm not sure. I have to look at
Okay.
my pictures because I take pictures all the time.
Okay.
So.
When you got there, when was the first time you had a chance to see Candace next?
It took a while because they wouldn't let us go up. So there was like a yellow tape down.
When you say they wouldn't let us,
the police.
and who's us?
It was me and David Dotson. Yeah.
Okay.
So I realized that she did drive separate from David because, well, I'm pretty sure because of the way that she speaks about it, coming up here, I think it's coming up here in a second. The way she speaks about it was that, or she might have actually already said it, when she says Candace was calling her and she answered and Candace was on FaceTime and her daughter was in the back seat and she was driving. So that made me think that she just had her daughter in the car with her and she was driving, obviously. So she didn't ride with Dotson. Her and Dotson probably went separate. But for some reason, I was under the impression that Dotson went and picked her up. And I don't know why I was under that impression. Somebody must have misunderstood and said that at one point. But just to clear that up, because I know I had asked in my last live if anyone knew if they rode together. They didn't. They had to have drove separate. By the way, Robin talks about it.
Okay.
We just had to hang out with the police because there was no way for us to go up the driveway.
Okay. And what were the police saying at the line there? Because I know cops talk when people come. What did they say?
They were just telling us how long that they'd been there, and I asked them if they'd had a good picture of her because I didn't know when they couple of them said, "Yeah, I've seen a picture of her." And there's another couple that said, "We haven't seen a picture yet." I'm like, "What? You haven't seen a picture of this little girl?" So I pulled up on my
Is
phone.
that, which one of these is the picture?
Okay, so she didn't get there till like 9 o'clock. Summer was reported missing at 6:30. If the police arrived at 7, around 7 p.m., that would be 2 hours that went by that they were outside of Beech Creek, outside of Summer's home, not letting people in, supposed to be searching for Summer, but don't even know what she looks like. That's concerning to me. Robin had to show them pictures so they knew what she looked like. Not all of them knew. Why? After 2 hours of being there, you don't know what she looks like? Why?
Sure that you, if you remember.
Actually, none of these are the ones
I love
showed
these
them.
pictures.
I know.
She is so,
Well, I
yeah,
know.
I'm Summer.
She's-
And then this one, I think she's just being sassy here.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool shot.
Yeah.
Tell me about the haircut story, if you know.
I asked the mom, I asked Candace why they cut her hair, and she told me it's a cool summer cut.
So Candace told her it was a cool summer cut, yet on the news, she said it's because the boys had our heads shaved, so Summer wanted to have her head shaved too, like us. But then Dawn, sitting right next to her, is like, well, she got a hold of the clippers and tried to cut her hair herself, so we just shaved it all off and let it grow back long. And Candace shaved her head so she wouldn't feel bad, but it didn't bother her at this point. So Dawn contradicts what Candace just said, sitting right next to each other on the news, and then she goes and tells Robin it's just a cool summer cut. So what is it? What's with the shaved head, you guys? Bothers me. They removed all of the hair off of her head for a reason.
And this picture is, she's what, probably...
Oh, well, that was taken after that. Mother's Day was the first time I saw her with her haircut. So that was probably taken close to Mother's Day right there.
I think she might be a little wrong on the Mother's Day thing, because I know I saw pictures of Summer in church that were supposedly at Easter and she had her head shaved, and that would have been, not like a significant amount of time prior to Mother's Day, but that's a little bit before Mother's Day. Easter is. You got like a whole month there about.
Okay. And do you know anything about the red truck?
Okay, so that red truck, I've been told, has been, they already talked to the person. And
It's been eliminated?
It's been eliminated. Thank you for the word. Yes.
Okay.
So
Wrong. Red truck has not been eliminated. Not publicly. CBI is still looking for a red or maroon Toyota Tacoma 1998 to 2000 model with a ladder rack, and it had white buckets in the back. They're still looking for that. Robin crossed it off, and they're still looking for it. And I don't understand why she would cross it off, because at this point in July, I don't think she had a red truck yet, because she ended up buying a red truck after her husband's father passed away. They got that red truck, but that was after this interview. So why would she cross off the red truck? Why? Who told her to do that? Tim.
that actually, I was going through these and I was Xing it out, and because I just don't think that we need to be looking for a red truck.
Well, and that's one of the reasons, right? Why it's important to keep fresh information out there, because the investigation's going on, but they're so busy. They can't come up and say, hey, by the way, we're not looking for this red truck anymore.
I know. It wasn't until after I got a big stack of those that I was informed that that was no longer a truck that we were looking for.
Okay, that's good information. So you're at the bench, or you're at the line.
Right.
Was it up the driveway?
Well, there was a couple, the police were stopping the traffic there on the main road, the paved road, but then you could walk this way and then go up the driveway, and the driveway at the base of the driveway where it's real steep going up, that was all blocked off with yellow tape. And there was people there and like side by sides and officers and stuff there. And then there were officers.
So that gives you a good visual of what it was like. And we saw, I mean, I don't know if everybody saw it, but Jody Sue actually recorded footage the night of Summer's disappearance of the helicopters and people on their little four-wheelers and stuff with the search going on, and Robin's saying there was yellow tape up around the driveway as well. And it sounds like there was law enforcement crawling all over that hill.
Officers at the main road. So we just kind of hung out with the officers at the main road when we realized we couldn't go up that driveway.
Okay. When was the first time then after that you had a chance to talk to
It
Mom?
was probably around 10 o'clock or so. They finally, said, well, go ahead and go. I guess they wanted us to wait until the dogs were done doing their sniffing. They didn't want to mess up the scent.
It made sense.
So the dogs were there till about 10 o'clock sniffing for like 3 hours for Summer's scent. And then they let people up there after a few hours. I think that's kind of strange that they just started letting people up there after a few hours. I don't think they should have let anybody up there that night at all. That's just my opinion.
They let us go up after that. Now, David had already been up there before I had, and I don't know the details about when or how, but I know that he was there before I got there and had already talked to the family. Okay. And by the time I got there, they had not allowed us to go back up.
So how was David allowed to go up on the hill, but she wasn't? If the dogs came, the dogs had to have got there like right around 7 when the LE arrived, because they knew what they were coming to. It wasn't just a random 911 call. It was a call for a missing child. So they knew to bring the dogs. So if the dogs were there like right away, then why would they let Dotson up? You know what I'm saying? Why did Dotson say he's the one that got a hold of Robin and made it sound like they went over there at the same time? Why would he want it to sound like he got there at the same time as Robin? You know what I'm saying? Or maybe I just took it that way.
Back up there again, but I think it was maybe around 10 o'clock that the officers finally said, you guys can go ahead and go. So we went up there, and all we did was pray. That's all we did, was we prayed with the family and talked to them and hugged on the boys. I mean, that's really all we.
Was everybody there?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Grandma,
Mom, Dad, Candace, boys, they were all there. And officer was up there too. Yeah.
Okay. And what was your sense of that when you first saw them?
What was my sense? Like just the feeling that I got from
when you finally were able to go up there. When you saw them for the first time, walk me through that emotion.
Oh, I just felt it was just shock. It was just shock. I think for all of us.
And what did you see on that side when you saw it? From your side, it was shock. Is it shock on their side? What is going on? Help me understand those dynamics.
For me, it was shock. For them, I think it was just confusion.
So, Robin, sensed confusion coming from Don and Candace and Grandma and the boys and everybody. She sensed a sense of confusion, and I think Robin was a little confused too and shocked, as she said.
Sensing a lot of confusion and just overwhelming grief, and Don especially, his eyes were just, they looked achy, ache.
So that tells me a lot right there. I'm sorry, but Don is one of my top suspects, and he has been pretty much the whole time all along. And I think he at the very least, knows what happened. He may not at this point know where Summer is. Maybe she's with somebody that he may have an idea of who they are, but to protect himself, he won't say. I'm not sure. I don't know. But I'm just throwing ideas out there, I guess. But I think for some reason, Robin wants to protect Don. I don't know why she would, but I feel like maybe she thinks that anything that needs handled could be handled through the church. You know what I'm saying?
And Candace, maybe, a little bit of still had some panic going on. Grandma, yeah, I mean, I'm sensing from her just despair. I mean, these are all words that I just sensed from her.
I just want to make sure that when you first saw what you saw or sensed what you sensed, it's exactly probably what the cops were thinking in the very beginning. Okay. So your impression was you could help this family. Would that be accurate?
Yeah, in my own little way.
Okay.
I wonder what her own little way is in her head that she thought she was going to help the family just by being there as a support and a friend, or was it something more that she thought she was going to be able to do to help them? Maybe at this point the boys were taken, so maybe she was thinking she could help them fix up her house to get the boys back. Maybe she was thinking something along those lines. I'm not sure.
Was that because you are so close to Summer and you understood her dynamics?
Yeah, and even Candace had told me that, that she just feels close to me personally just because she's like, Summer loves you so much that we just all feel so close to you just through Summer's interactions with you, So, yeah.
Walk me through when you left that night. What was going through your mind?
That was a long drive home.
She says that was a long drive home that night. She thought she was going to pack snacks and bring flashlights, and it was going to be some kind of slumber party shit where she was going to find Summer and everything was going to be peachy keen, but she was absolutely wrong, 100% wrong. And she went home realizing that this wasn't, as she calls it, small beans.
I was just devastated that, I guess I just expected her to be found right then and there. People helping, there's no way. And when I drove away and she still wasn't found, and it was, a little chilly at night, and I'm just thinking, I was just devastated.
One, the rumors going on the internet, social media, all this other stuff. Maybe we can clear some of this up.
Right.
Okay. And it's a question about Dawn. Okay. The rumor is he checked out of the house for a little bit. Okay. Is that even true?
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Y'all remember when Don allegedly left for a few days and nobody knows where he went or what he was doing? Anybody ever find out where Don went and what he was doing when he left right after Summer disappeared for a few days and just disappeared and didn't talk to anybody? I always wondered about that.
He did.
The second rumor was, okay, you kind of coached him back into the environment. Is that true?
No.
Did you get back in here or yada yada? Okay, to do.
Yeah.
As a good Christian.
Yeah, sister in Christ.
Yeah,
Back home.
to help. Right,
know.
come on over.
Yeah.
You still have hope.
Yesterday was.
So she's saying she wouldn't have been ashamed if she did try and coerce him to coming back or coax him into coming back home because she's a sister in Christ and, you got to restore the family and keep the family together. But were they really much of a family?
It was a bad day.
Tell me about that day.
I don't know. I just felt like yesterday that, I don't know. I just felt like she wasn't going to be found, that it was a lost cause. I was feeling like she's dead. I don't hate to say that. That's terrible, but I just felt like she's dead. I felt hope that today's going to be the day, because that's back full force.
How was Candace today when she came to church? Did you get a chance to talk?
Yes, she was devastated today.
All right, so everybody has their days, their ups and downs, days where they have hope, days where they're hopeless. I have to keep hope in my heart because it would be too hard to do this without keeping hope in my heart. I wouldn't be able to do this. It's hard to think about what could be. It is, but at the same time, having hope and knowing that Summer is, hopefully, if she is deceased, she's at peace. And there's so many people praying for her that, she must be in a white light somewhere. And if she is alive still, which please God be the case, I just pray that she's warm and safe and being taken care of.
Yeah, I could see it. She was tears. People are so she doesn't show emotion. And there's times where she's got a flat affect. She's callous. She's probably not callous. That's not the word. Numb to the pain. I can imagine you can only cry so much and then you just kind of become numb. There are times that she gets numb. Today she was pouring tears out down her cheeks.
So if Candace truly is the alcoholic that her friend Kathy has made her out to be, and that we've all seen from her own actions from being on YouTube and from her TikToks and stuff prior to Summer going missing where she looked super intoxicated, I think maybe sometimes when Candace cries, it's one of those drunk cries, if you know what I mean. And maybe when she was in church, it was a drunk cry, or it was because she wasn't drunk and she was actually feeling her emotions and she wasn't numb at the moment. Just a guess, just my opinion.
Just pouring tears. She says she feels like she's lost everything, and I can't imagine how that must feel. So
Yeah.
She didn't. I mean, she probably did come in at some point, but she was out in the parking lot just crying.
What's a message from Miss Robin here on behalf of, your heart? And what
Haters, I'm going to call them hurters. There's people out there that are hurting. Maybe they've been through some childhood trauma. Maybe they view this case and it just brings back all that hurts that they suffered as children. And I'm going to say that there's people out there that are hurting. And my heart, instead of being angry back at them like I was initially, I'm starting to learn that I need to understand where these people that are lashing out, where they might be coming from. I don't know what they've gone through in their life, but I want to show love to everyone, whether we don't know.
So her message is that she wants to show love to everyone, basically, is what she's saying, even the haters. Even those haters, she wants to show some love to. All right, let's check this interview out.
I am not. I'm a human being. I'm a friend. I cherish their friendship. I really do. I'm honored that I was a friend of this family, and I hope that I can continue to be, because I can assure you right now that I don't know any.
This is from AF Pennington's page. It's called Missing Summer Wells. Robin Lane addresses Red Tacoma interview and family. Wells YT. From AF Pennington. It was posted a year ago.
Anyone that has been more attacked than this family has. I know that a precious.
Her page is called AF Pennington Presents True Crime Weekly.
Little girl is missing, and there's a lot of good intentions that come along with it, but attacking this family has done nothing but hurt the family, and it's not helping Summer. And
all right, so she's saying attacking the family is doing nothing to help the family, and it's just hurting Summer. So not everybody that's on here speculating and asking hard questions is attacking the family. A lot of people are asking hard questions, and those people are being accused of attacking the family. Maybe there's people that are asking questions on their own live streams that people in their chats are going buck wild on, hating and putting hateful comments in. But for the most part, I think many creators on Summer's case actually want to find answers and ask a lot of hard questions because they're important questions to ask, not because they're trying to attack the family.
And so I just want to say that I cherish my friendship with them, and I never want to do anything that would hinder that relationship and that friendship. When Summer comes back home, if and when she comes back home, and I pray that she does, I'm hoping that we will be still friends, that we will be unified, that her family will still be together, that her mommy.
So Robin had to have known that Don and Candace weren't exactly present, at least judging by what they saw in church. And I feel like Robin was closer with that family than what she says, because they all had each other's phone numbers, and Candace called her first when Summer went missing. So don't you feel like they were a little more close, and Robin probably knows a little bit more about the family than she says? Because I do.
Mommy and Daddy will still be together, that her brothers will be back at home, and that they can all be together as a family. That's my biggest hope right now. And I want to be a part of that. All right.
She wants to be a part of that because in her religion that she's so strong in, she says, they say, everything's about restoring the family and love and understanding. And that's what she's doing. She's just trying to lead with love and understanding and reunite the family, because that's what she's probably been raised her whole life to do.
Search for Summer Wells stretches into month 2. Community support for the little girl continues, not only for the 5-year-old, but for her family. News Channel 11's Bianca Murray spoke with congregation members at the church the Wells attend and learned more about how they're helping the family get through a very challenging time.
This is from WJHL on YouTube. Just search WJHL Robin Lane.
The pastor at the Kingsport Seventh-day Adventist Church told me yesterday that the Wells family, as well as several church members, have received what he called hateful messages on social media. He says the church is banding together to support the family while Summer remains missing.
We know each other fairly well, and for someone like Summer Wells to be, in the father's opinion, to be abducted like that, it's just heartbreaking. We're hoping.
Why is everybody on Don's side? We see what is probably the real Don on YouTube, where he's what I believe 99% sure to be abusing Candace right on live streams. And, you know, yeah, of course, I can't say for sure because I didn't technically see it like firsthand or whatever, but I mean, come on, what else could that have been? He didn't hit the wall. It sounded like he hit her. And she's made reports in the past. I'm sorry, but I feel like Don is not the guy that they should be sticking up for here and just saying, oh, just show him love and it'll be fine. That's not going to find Summer. I'm sorry, but it's not. I'm not saying attack the family, be hateful. No, that's equally as bad. That's going to actually be worse. But just doing the hippy-dippy, oh, love and understanding will conquer all and we'll just pray and that will find her. No, that's not going to find her. I'm sorry. People have to stop getting their feelings hurt so easily. And I think the police need to look a little more into the people that were in the church because they could probably find some answers there.
Hoping that there's miraculous intervention.
A church of less than 200 people, Pastor David Ryder refers to his congregation as a family. So for one of his flock to disappear, he says his family is drawing near.
A lot of the help that they need is that type of emotional support, you know, having the prayer vigils. And you can imagine the kind of ups and downs that they're going through. And they have some of these just to be able to pick the phone up and text and have a response, or pick the phone up and call and have a response.
He says the family is struggling to cope.
They're already going.
So apparently, the Pastor Ryder, is that his name? He is close with the family too. He says he knows them very well. How interesting.
They're going through a horrible time. Can you imagine? That's the most horrible thing that can happen to a person is to have their child abducted. You know, they're going through this, and this is the.
Why are these people so naive to just believe Don that their child was abducted? They can't see that maybe there might be something else going on, and if that she was abducted, considering, yes, there is an Amber Alert, so of course we all think she was abducted, right? But maybe Don might have a better idea of if she was abducted, who abducted her. Maybe Candace could have a better idea of her timeline if she would actually sit down and think about what she was doing between 3:30 and 6:30. And if she was too drunk, maybe she should just think really hard about it.
The depression and the shock and not knowing, is she safe? Is she being harmed? What's happening to her? You know, it's very difficult for the parents.
Summer's Sabbath school teacher, Robin Lane, tells me she's in constant contact with Candace Bly, Summer's mom.
She looked like she was really hurting, and I just offered her a word of encouragement. And I have told her this from the beginning, that with each day that passes, I get more and more hopeful. I'm not just saying that because I want to be a positive, uplifting person. People think I'm a real.
And there goes Summer up on the stage wanting love and affection from Robin. And that can't be enough to tell Robin, maybe she's not getting the love and affection that she needs at home. So what, you think if you just show them all this outpour of love that'll change them and make them into these great parents?
Real positive person. I'm a realistic person as well. I believe in miracles, and I do believe that God is going to reveal where she is. I believe she will be delivered.
The church members I spoke with.
If you're realistic, if you're that much of a realistic person, then why don't you get real, Robin, for a minute and stop being so happy-go-lucky? Just wipe it off for just a minute and be real and raw and tell us about the family for real, what you really think. Don't worry if you sound hateful. Don't worry if it sounds bad or makes them look bad. If it's true, it's true. Just say it, because there's no way that you just think this family is just a super loving family that deserves all their kids back. Come on, get real, Robin.
Asked the public to pray for the Wells family and pray for the safe return of 5-year-old Summer Wells.
Treated. I feel like until you're proven guilty, you should be treated as innocent. We can have all the suspicions we want. I've had suspicions myself, but you know what? You're not going to regret showing love to someone. Treated. I feel like until you're proven guilty, you should be treated as innocent. We can have all the suspicions we want. I've had suspicions myself, but you know what? You're not going to regret showing treated. I feel like until you're proven guilty, you should be treated as innocent. We can have all the suspicions we want. I've had suspicions myself, but you know what? You're not going to regret.
So there she admits she's had her suspicions herself, but the only thing that's gonna find Summer is love and understanding, according to Robin.
Regret showing love to someone. If we can just show people love, we're not going to regret that. But if we are...
This is posted by AF Pennington Presents, True Crime Weekly. Missing Summer Wells Sabbath school teacher Robin Lane discusses accusations. True crime. This was posted July 16th, 2021, a month after Summer disappeared.
Saying bad things about people, and then we find out later that they were innocent, we're going to regret that.
Gosh, what to ask? I mean, this has been going on for 4 months. Just talk to me about what your involvement has been and how you've tried to help and make things better.
Now, I don't remember the name of the original video on this one, y'all, but I did pull this from Zav Girl, and it's called Going Back Through Robin Lane's Interviews. Summer Wells case from Zav Girl. If you don't know Zav Girl, check her out. She's got a cool channel. Zav Girl.
I'm really just a friend of the family, and everything that I've tried to do is just to be an encouragement and a support to the family. It's really what I feel like my place is, and I feel like as long as I do that, I stay out of trouble. Because I get in trouble easy.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want you to get in trouble.
I wonder why Robin gets in trouble easy. What does she mean by that? Like, I get in trouble easy because I'm so naive and trusting? Is that why? I'm just curious. I'm not trying to be nasty. Please don't think I'm having an attitude. It's hard not to sometimes, you guys, because I just want to find Summer. I just want some answers. And sometimes I feel like people aren't saying all they know for reasons that aren't good enough to me.
Can you talk to me about what kind of a Sunday school pupil Summer was?
Yes, I love talking about that. Summer was such a sweet little student in our class. She loved to come to Sabbath school, and every time she'd come in, she'd just run up and give me a big hug. Getting her to sit in the chair was not very easy because she had a lot of energy. I think pretty much everyone has heard that. She had a lot of energy. But I was actually the assistant Sabbath school teacher. I wasn't.
So Summer had a lot of energy. She doesn't seem like the type of kid that wanted to ever sit still. That's how my son is.
The main one, so that actually allowed me to kind of spend a little more time with her because the teacher was teaching, and then I could.
You're hurting.
Yes, exactly. She would sit on my lap, and we do things, motions to songs and everything together. She just, she actually liked to help a lot. So whenever we had different little projects or craft projects, the kids would come over and take their turn to do their craft. Oh no, she wanted to help with everything. So she was helping with the prep work, and as long as I kept her little hands busy, she was really good, excellent behavior. So she just.
So as long as she kept her little hands busy, Summer was on her best behavior. She just needed to be kept busy, according to Robin, which a lot of kids are like that. I mean, I don't think that makes her that much different. I guess the rest of the kids must have been just those kind of kids that were more reserved for whatever reason. And Summer wasn't like that.
She just needed a task to do to keep her busy. But she loved to run around and love on everybody.
Yeah.
And I know that when people watch on some of the clips that they've seen, she's usually loving on me, but she loved on a lot of people there. There's a lot of toys and things for her to play with during church and stuff. And she was just a very loving child. We got lots and lots of hugs and lots of love from her. Yeah.
Well, can I?
So that church got lots and lots of love from Summer. She just ran around and talked to random families while her parents slept in the pews. So could it have been someone from the church that was watching Summer? I wouldn't put it past it. I think the LE needs to look way more into all these people in this church. Maybe they already have.
Can I ask a difficult question?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, sometimes you got to ask obvious questions, but it's what I have to do. What was the emotions that you felt when you heard about the first time you heard that something had happened?
Yeah, the first time I heard something had happened, I was just in shock, really. I had just finished doing a photo shoot for my little girls' dance class, and Candace called me on FaceTime and said, Summer's missing. And
she didn't say she was in shock the first time she heard about it. The first time she heard about it, she said she just thought it was a small beans thing. She said she wasn't in shock until she got there.
And I was just in shock. I don't think I realized what a big deal it was, though, until I actually showed up at their house, and there was helicopters everywhere and police everywhere and search dogs everywhere. And then I was like, oh my goodness, this is really happening. She's really missing. They're not finding her that easy. So it went from shock to fear.
They're not finding her that easy. Yeah. They aren't, because somebody got her gone out of there. That's my opinion.
It was getting cold outside, and the sun was setting, and it was pretty much dark almost when I got there anyway. And I just thought, this poor little girl's going to sleep outside tonight. And of course, I didn't know where she was. I didn't know if someone had taken her. I mean, there's all kinds of theories up in the air, and I just didn't know what to think. There's a lot of confusion, fear. I'm not gonna lie, I was scared for her.
I know at some point.
She says, I'm not gonna lie, I was scared for her, and throws her hands up. That was just kind of awkward. But I think Robin's just awkward on camera because she gets nervous, which I don't blame her. I'm the same way.
Early on, it probably feels like she's going to be found, because every kid's just run off all the time. This is pretty common. At what point did you begin to realize this wasn't going to be that? The story wasn't going to end that way.
It's hard to answer that question. I don't know. It's just been such a process. I still am hoping that she's going to be found, but I really didn't think it would take this long. I always pray every day, let today be the day that she's found. Let today be the day that she's found. And then another day passes, and now 4 months. And so I don't know at what point, but it's just been such a process.
Have you attended all the prayer vigils and that have taken place?
I've attended the ones that I could.
Yeah. What do you think what purpose does it serve for folks to get together?
Is it just me, or does Robin seem like extra awkward in this interview? Like she didn't really want to do this one at all, I don't think. I think she seems like extra odd in this one. Just like her movements and her behaviors, which I know it's kind of hard to tell because it's like lagging a little bit, but there's nothing I can really do about that. Sorry.
Together in events like this.
Well, I'll tell you what it does for me. It inspires me. It helps me to not give up hope. Somehow having other people around that are believers that are together, it inspires me. It's kind of like a campfire, and you got all the coals and wood, but as long as we can stay in that campfire together, we can warm each other up and keep each other
else that you'd like to say?
Yeah, except what if there's somebody in that campfire that you think is just trying to get warm, but really they're trying to steal all the heat and run off with it? You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just trust everybody. You can't just trust that everybody's going to accept love and in their heart and be honest and have integrity. You can't just assume people are going to be like that, because a lot of people are not like that. And obviously whoever took Summer is not like that. And her parents are suspects, and you're treating them like you just believe their every word. Like, you're just that gullible to just believe their every word, when it's clear to me that they have guilty knowledge, because there's no way that they, with everything they've said and done throughout these past couple years, that they don't know something. You can't tell me they don't know more. I wish somebody would get real and speak up and give us some actual answers. Jody Sue can't even complete one sentence without turning it into 2 paragraphs. So we're not going to hardly get any answers from her. Maybe over the course of 2 years, we might find a couple things that she says throughout all her jumbling. But Robin, we're not going to get anything from her, because she wants to protect the integrity of the family. So for her religion, like, she thinks that's what they have to do. So you can't really listen to her either, because she's just trying to protect Don and Candace. And she thinks that just leading with love is going to fix everything. But in my opinion, that's not going to work this time. It's going to take more than that. It's going to take more fierceness and more fire under people's asses to find Summer. That's just my opinion. All right. So it's been close to an hour now. I'm going to go ahead and share Summer's pictures again. Thanks for being here, you guys. I really appreciate it. It's really important to me to keep Summer's name out there on a daily basis, because I feel like her parents aren't doing enough for her, and that's just my opinion, and she needs us all. And I feel like the more that we put this out here on YouTube, the more people that are going to continually pay attention and talk about Summer, the less likely her case is to go cold, and the more likely media is to keep picking it up if they see how much people are watching, except for we have the obstacle of Tim Mullen in our way. So we have to figure that out still. Tim, why do you want a media blackout? Please, can you answer that? I would love to know. Summer Moon Utah Wells is still missing from the Beech Creek community of Hawkins County, Tennessee. Anyone with any credible tips is urged to call 1-800-TBI-FIND. We love you, Summer Moon. We'll never stop.